Good evening, Rando fans. Welcome to another main tournament round of 64 match. It's game 2 between Andy and VeXtopher. I am Sabotender. I am joined by my good buddy Drossi. Drossi, how are you, my man?
I'm doing great. With a bit of Schadenfreude tonight, knowing how badly each of these runners wanted Ambrosia as their mode.
Yes, we've got an Ambrosia seed lined up here. Both runners expressing their distaste for the mode, but they're going to give it their best shot here. Hopefully, show us what it's all about.
I'm hoping for Uncle to give one of the special boots hints like, Ganon gave me these great boots, gotta run.
Absolutely. So we should be getting underway pretty soon here, I think.
Yeah. And hopefully, good boots in Uncle, because that's what everyone hopes for off the bat. And then just to remind you, we get the nice, 5 to 6 minute escape sequence to talk about things anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
There we go.
Perfect.
Dark World.
All right, that could be worse.
Probably Purple Chest or something.
Shovel off the bat there, okay.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Oh, and wow, very quick map check from Andy. There was a 5-6 in Desert, regular crystal in Hera, and a red pendant in Eastern.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say the shovel, affects routing a little bit just because you then go there right after CAC instead of a save and quit.
Yeah, most definitely. You want to take that check off your list as soon as possible.
Also, for those of you wondering, Andy is using a palette shuffle. It was his statement on the mode that he felt he needed to make things interesting somehow.
Yeah, so far a pretty sickly palette that we're seeing, unfortunately.
Interesting decor inside the castle.
Yeah. So this is game 2 between these two runners. How did the first one go? Vex took it. A little bit of perhaps a bit of an upset. Andy is always kind of favored to do well in these tournaments, but I don't know too much more about the situation. Drossi, do you have any more details on how game 1 went?
I mean, I remember it was a key sanity of some sort, and I forget the details. I think the keys just fell together better for Vex.
Well, it is a randomizer after all, yes. So, okay, key sanity.
Which also, makes me think that with a pretty standard mode like this, Andy's probably at more of an advantage. That,
yeah.
Brute force clear the seed, and you'll find what you need because double dips are much less likely.
Yeah, I would tend to agree that kind of a more straightforward mode might favor the one who can execute generally just a little bit better. But I mean, Vex is on quite a tear, getting all the way through to round of 64 into the brackets here. So never count out the underdog.
Yeah, chat reminding us, and I'm now looking it up. Yeah, I guess the big thing in the last race was that Glove was on Ether Tablet, and Andy kind of forgot about it for a while.
Ooh, Ether Tablet is definitely one of those locations that can be left off of your kind of standard routing. So, understandable. That was a spot that kind of cost him that one. I think in a race I've had against him, it was like Catfish or something that sunk Andy one time. So sometimes those kind of one-off weird checks can do even the best runners in. So far, we are neck and neck. Usually not too much separation at this point of the run through escape. A lot of these runners know what they're doing, so it's not a surprise that we're kind of synced up here. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, though, remembering that Andy did do a map check to start, and Vex hasn't done the map check, and you can see the ever so slight optimizations that Andy was a little bit behind Vex picking up Zelda. Now they are truly neck and neck. That even though Vex has come up in the community really quickly, Andy's execution is still Andy's execution.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So as we are running towards the back of Escape, we got a little bit of a break before the next chest. I just want to shout out our tracker today, SayRuX, clicking those buttons behind the scenes. We really appreciate that, buddy. It's the unsung heroes of the rando community, the trackers. We love them.
Oh, definitely. Hey, there's a heart container to start with. Yeah, I don't like the red water on Andy's side. It makes me wonder just how many guards were slaughtered to, turn the water that red.
Yeah, definitely like a very evil Hyrule Castle.
So we do fortunately have bombs here for the back. Ooh.
Wow, early hammer, okay.
Yeah, I wonder if this is going to be one of those Sphere 1 Dark World access seeds.
You know what? Very well could be. Early hammer is always a good sign, I think, towards it being a pretty easy Dark World access kind of situation.
As I was saying.
Yeah, right?
And Andy is going back to Link's house, actually, with that hammer and moon pearl, though still not a glove to actually do Dark World. And he is skipping the shovel checks and going straight for South Shore. Interesting.
Yeah, I can see what's kind of building here. We're going to do the mini Moldorm first. Maybe we do Dam and then... Oh, wow, a death. That's...
yeah. I mean, sand crabs still take 2 hearts on green mail, no matter how you slice it.
A little uncharacteristic off the bat here, but yeah, I'm thinking mini Moldorm to the dam and then up to the shovel spot from there, and then south side of Kakariko, perhaps? Something like that. I don't know.
But Vex has to worry a bit less about his routing because he picked up the flute and mushroom spot, so he can get around the map pretty easily.
Yeah, that's the gamble with doing South Shore in this way, that you're hoping to get something like the flute. It turns out that that's not going to be the case, and it's actually much closer to Kakariko than Andy would have liked.
Just a surprising gamble on Andy's side that, unless we see something even more important, doesn't look like it's paying off.
Yeah, at this point we need a bottle just to make Sick Kid a thing. Otherwise, yeah, not really gonna find too much that'll help him out.
I mean, he got a 300 in there. I guess if the dam has another 300, we can think about a really early Zora play, though it would be out of logic.
Very true. Ether Medallion in blind set there, and Quake Medallion. Oh, okay.
Want to bet on Bombos in the back?
Wouldn't that be something?
Just a vanilla piece of heart.
You know, I don't know if I've ever seen a seed where, like, all 3 medallions were in, like, one set of checks.
I may have. I've definitely seen a few like this one where you had 2 medallions in the same set of checks.
right, so down in the well here, Vex got a couple more things open to him here. Oh, Canis Samaria, nice.
Yeah, we're definitely getting... Oh, and there's our Sphere 1 Dark World access, as advertised. I was gonna say definitely getting a stack of Rico, also getting the blue mail in there.
Okay, so Andy wants that Desert Ledge knowledge. It's just 10 arrows this time around.
Did you see what the bottle vendor just had there?
I missed it.
Hook shot!
Wow, okay. Looking good so far. This seed is giving our runners a lot of things to work with. My goodness.
Yeah, they just really need to watch their health, as we already saw on Andy's side the hard way, though the blue mail will help. Just unfortunate for Andy that Kakariko was the play.
Yeah, definitely bleeding a little bit of time here doing these checks in this particular order, but yeah, still early days. And with the seed kind of like wide open with all of these items that we're getting, there should be some divergence and opportunities for it to be a bit of a back and forth, it looks like.
And the shovel was nothing, as the cape also shows up in Kakariko, as though we hadn't found enough items here already. Now, no one's checked Lumberjack yet. We know the boots are in the Dark World. We're a lamp from Aga access, though otherwise we have Dark World access anyway.
Oh, it was half magic. I couldn't quite see it when Andy did the check there, but yeah. Unfortunately, you know, half magic, nice thing to have, but just spending that extra 20, 30 seconds or so that it would take to actually do the maze there, total time, it's just not worth it for the runners.
Well, from Vex's standpoint, I could see it a bit more, because he has that Samaria. That can be useful for some things, and picking up half magic does give you a full refill. Well, and also the cape, for that matter. But yeah, I guess they don't want the magic refill.
I feel like I'd probably go for it. You know, like just having that extra magic in your pocket there, like I feel like that would come in handy. I don't know. I mean, maybe I just waste my magic too much.
They want to make it spicy, pretending it's Tournament Open Hard, which doesn't have half magic. How's that?
That's what's going on here. Yeah, absolutely.
And there's our Dark World check. Our other 5/6 is Pod, green pendant is Meyer, and our last pendant is Thieves. So Vex with the Sphere 2 Hype Cave play, as Andy finds his Dark World access. Hype Cave is not the play today. Now, the concern here for Andy is that he might rush CAC Portal, having just gotten Dark World access, in which case he'd miss the flute for a while longer.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
But since he doesn't have the mitts, he'd have to get to it via the Lost Woods, so we would hope he would do the Lost Woods checks on the way to it.
Okay, Stumpy with the mushroom there. Interesting. We're finding more items. More and more items. 12 minutes in. Pretty loaded inventory already.
So, with low magic like this, do you fake powder?
Yeah, you could.
Usually not thinking about fake powder as a viable play 13 minutes in, but we have what we need for it.
Yeah, no kidding. That's very early days for that.
And Andy is going to find his flute shortly. What the heck with the dig game?
Oh, already a second sword. How about that?
Yeah, if you're gonna do 25 digs or whatever, at least it's something good.
Alrighty, so Andy is going back to activate that flute before any Dark World considerations at this point. We'll have to see where he decides to go. Vex, meanwhile, going to be using the Kakariko portal here to start into Thieves Town, sorry, maybe Village of Outcasts at the very least, and Skull Woods.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised that he didn't do Death Mountain just because with the hookshot and the hammer, that's all of Light Death Mountain available.
Yeah, I would agree. Maybe just trying to, hold out for Titan's Mitts. Just seeing as the seed has been quite generous so far. Maybe thinking that, if I just wait a little bit longer, I'll be able to do light and dark, maybe.
Oh, Chad also reminding us that, of course, the boots hint were boots in the Dark World, so... Which does include Dark Death Mountain, so that is a reason to hold out for doing Death Mountain until you have the mitts. There aren't actually that many checks that qualify as Dark World.
Yeah, that's true. It's got to be like the overworld spots. So there's not a ton really.
Yeah, and mirror spots count as Light World. So like K45 and Graveyard Ledge would be hinted as Light World.
Right. Yeah.
Though it could also be Pyramid Fairy, in which case we've got a bit of a wait.
That's probably where they're going to be.
There was some... Oh yeah, it was the weekly yesterday where the boots were in Pyramid Fairy and that was your required access into Mire.
Oh, gross.
Because Hookshot was on Ped and Mire was a pendant. To answer chat, boots cannot be boots locked. The setting here is 100% inventory, so all inventory must be available, logically. Wow. Vex has gone a Kern jump, despite having the hammer, so, this side is in logic anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say it's an interesting kind of play at this point. But, I guess you're thinking Dark World boots location. Is it? Okay, he's going to save and quit. One try was enough. Was it going to be Catfish, maybe?
Yeah, but if you're doing Catfish, then you want to combo it with the Pyramid.
Yeah, that is the better way to do that.
Andy, meanwhile, doing the front four of Pendant Thieves. I would be kind of surprised if he takes the time to full clear a Pendant Dungeon.
Yeah, probably not going to go any deeper than this.
Does get his first bottle, so there you go with a potential sick kid check. Does remember to release the fairy before taking the Death Warp.
Vex has got to be a bit careful here. One heart, it's kind of dangerous in the Dark World.
That's when stunning with the hookshot becomes useful. Oh, but our stun prize is just bloopy. Had we seen that before?
I'm not sure if we'd seen that before. At least, I don't think that's new knowledge for Vex, at least.
Andy, meanwhile, will be getting his Master Sword here. Yeah, just another vanilla heart piece on the pyramid. Looks like Vex is going to take the long walk to Catfish on low health. So what else counts as a Dark World check? There's Mire Shed, though of course we'd need the mitts for that. As we discussed, Dark Death Mountain, we'd need the mitts for that. There's one Dark Death Mountain check in Logic, though, namely Spike Cave. And that would count as Dark World.
Right, yeah. So we're actually getting down there as to where the boots could really be. Unless they are, of course, tucked further into the seed behind the mitts.
Vex, you need to throw something in there at Catfish. Oh yeah, other Mitch-locked locations, of course, include a lot of Smith Chain, Smith, Purple Chest, Catfish. Not Catfish, Hammer Pegs.
So neither runner wanting to head up the mountain. I'm wondering if Vex might do that now. You know, you've kind of exhausted a lot of other options. No, okay, we're going to go South Shore. Has he not done South Shore yet?
He never did South Shore because of the early Dark World access.
Okay. So Andy heading for Pyramid, it looks like, as well.
In terms of Sphere 1 checks, we have not seen Ice Rod Cave yet from either of these runners.
Good point, yeah.
They also have plenty of money for Zora, which is in Logic.
That seems like a bit of an out-of-the-way check when you've got, I don't know, so much up on the mountain. I think I'd rather do all that rather than one-off Zora, but, you know, you could go for it.
I'm just thinking what's available. Because given that they're putting off the mountain and doing everything but the mountain, I mean, Andy's just going over Vex's route, looking at Pyramid, Ledge, and Catfish here. Seems like they really want to do Dark Death Mountain. They really want those mitts. And so then it becomes, okay, clear out the Light World hoping for the mitts. The mitts are probably on Death Mountain at this rate.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so a boomerang at Sick Kid there.
Oh. I'm a little bit surprised that Vex didn't fake powder when he was back in CAC doing Sick Kid.
Yeah, I guess some runners just don't prioritize that check. I know that I don't really think about it too much. I don't know what could convince me to go do a fake powder, but yeah, I don't usually do that. So maybe just not on Vex's mind today.
And let's see where Andy goes now that he's exhausted most of the accessible Dark World checks. That's the third bottle we've seen this seed, 2 for each runner so far. Okay, so mountain play on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, it's the most dense location. You don't have to, half dip a dungeon or something to, do these checks or anything. So, I mean, you've held off as long as you could, waiting for mitts to show up out of nowhere, and it just looks like it's not going to happen. So, yeah, mountain makes sense.
Now, with this few hearts and no green or blue goo, and both runners skipped half magic, it might be difficult to actually do Spike Cave.
Yeah, that is a good point. Unless we get some really nice stuff over on East Death Mountain here that might add a little bit of life. Yeah, it might be a bit tricky.
I mean, here's where it might actually become relevant that they both turned down half magic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but Andy is going to do it. Can't maybe with the hook shot that'll be just enough to get him through. But you have to. Oh, and you can cheese it with the red goo. That makes sense. I hadn't even thought about that option.
I didn't realize we had 2 red potions. That's pretty good.
Yeah, catfish and old man.
Got it. Yeah, okay.
But that's one more Dark World location where boots aren't. And did we get anything out of Paradox Cave?
You know, I don't think I saw anything worth it. No. The seed that started out so generous with items galore in Kakariko has kind of come to a standstill, and our runners are having to make some decisions about where they want to actually hunt for items.
Yeah. Now, it would have been interesting if the big key were vanilla here in Hera because, well, well, the basement's now in logic anyway. I was going to say, we have the hook shot, we can Hera pot, but it would have been out of logic, but there's our lamp. I mean, I guess, depending on whether pod's bow locked or not, that lamp could put a chunk of pod in logic.
Yeah, definitely could. Vex taking on Moldorm here. Nicely handled by Vex there.
And that's our second item, so we don't need to worry about Hera Basement today.
Yeah, good point in chat there. Vex is going to have to make a choice here. Spike Cave, Spiral Cave. He's going Spiral.
I'm not surprised. Most runners, if their routing leads them to the point where they have to make that choice, 9 out of 10 runners do Spiral.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I would too.
And hey, you know all the secrets to beating Andy, so it must be the right choice.
Yep, never forget.
The start of Andy's losing streak in brackets.
I'm here to support the guy now, man.
you didn't know you were starting such a long multi-year streak, did you?
I really got into his head, I guess.
Spiral Cave also junk, so Lamp was the only thing we got off Death Mountain. VeXtopher is just doing the mushrooms straight out and not thinking of fake powdering or anything. So now you have to start diving dungeons. No, we haven't seen Ice Rod Cave yet.
Yeah.
And there's the Flute to 8, indeed. Just like, again, especially given what we know about the boots, these runners don't really want to start diving dungeons. And there's no dungeon they can complete. Except for Thieves, which is a pendant.
Yeah, that's it's a strange kind of place for our runners to be in right now. Only completable dungeon is a pendant, and everything else is kind of like off limits. Like we're close to this seed being like cracked open, but it's just kind of come to a bit of a standstill.
Oh yeah, chat reminding us that in their desire to avoid Eastern, we haven't seen Sahasrar's hut either.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. That is, I mean, it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those checks you don't want to have to go do because you're committing to maybe doing Eastern as well. But yeah, that's definitely on the table still.
Yeah, and Eastern being both a pendant and without a bow, I'm sure is not where either of these runners want to go. Let's see if Andy does fake powder here. Oh no. VeXtopher got hit while fake flippering. This can take a good half minute or so to reset. He should be able to, yeah, now you can save and quit.
Yikes, that is unfortunate. That bow and arrow guard, he can get you sometimes.
I've definitely fallen victim to him before. Checking hobo on fake flipper is a risky proposition. And Andy also decided not to do fake powder here, so we may never find out unless we get the real powder.
All right, well, Andy's going to be doing Skull Woods here. This is something we have not seen yet.
And thinking about a remark from chat there, what we just saw Vex go through, it's at least good that that happened to him before he got to hobo, because if you've just left hobo and get hit and fake flipper like that from that bow and arrow guard, it can take a solid minute to reset and let you save and quit.
Yeah, no worse feeling than being kind of like stuck in limbo there, just waiting to try and get reset.
This is going to be a little bit spicy for Andy. He decided to do the drop down in Skullwoods, finds the big key, doesn't have a small key, so if this pinball room chest isn't a vanilla small key, he's going to be forced to save and quit. But he's bailed out.
Yeah, I don't think we'd seen a small key yet in the dungeon, so I would have been pretty surprised if somehow we dodged all of the keys in this front section. Oh, single rupee.
Well, we know Moth has the other items since it's Ambrosia, so at least we can skip the middle.
That. Man, this seed, it was so nice to start, and now it's really just grinded everything to a halt here.
I can't remember Vex checking Bumper Ledge. He must have, because he had the cape, so why wouldn't you?
I'm pretty sure he did check that location.
Now, the thing about doing Pendant Eastern here, we don't have the bow, we can't go to Armos, so the bright side is, as soon as you get your second item, you're out.
Yeah, and that is, one of the good things about Ambrosia is that you know that one item is going to be on the boss. So if you're digging a dungeon, you can stop short if you've reached if you've got one item left to find.
And meanwhile, Andy is giving us that look at Pod. If it's not bow-locked, there are a lot of checks and logic here.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be surprised if it was bow-locked. It feels like this seed's got to throw our runners something. Oh, okay, fine. There's a bow in Eastern.
Now you have to decide, do you want the item off of Armos? Vex decides no. And Pod is bow-locked as we find a tempered sword in Shooter Chest.
Man, this seed is unfortunate. Just I don't know.
So, not surprisingly, VeXtopher is going to full clear pod now.
I mean, yeah, this is good. This is good for him. Andy, yeah, I guess will he do Eastern after this? Like, I mean, probably.
He's running out of checks.
Yeah, there's not really too much else left for him. So if this yields nothing spicy, then he'll probably have to just dip into Eastern.
And Andy is known to avoid the Eastern area without a bow. The final race of the League Season 4 finals, the big difference in that race between Andy and Sailor Nep was I think Sahasrara had a bow in that one, and Andy didn't even do Saha's Closet. He did like Pendant Ice before he went to Saha's Closet and finally found the bow there.
Oh, interesting. Alrighty, so both runners in pod at the moment here. One with a bow, one without.
I wonder which one will finish clearing the dungeon.
Yeah, place your bets now. I feel like at this point there's got to be something in pod. Our runners have to have something else to do after this, you know? Like, there's going to be something. There's got to be something.
And pod has 5 items.
Right?
And so far we've only seen one, yes? The Tempered Sword?
Yes. That is all we have seen so far item-wise. Oh, the chest before big? Oh, okay. Must have been junk.
In terms of where the bow was, yeah, we like to call that compass chest.
Ah, yes, right, that's what we're talking about. Yes. Over there in Eastern Palace. Okay, so nothing in the Dark Maze here.
Hey, suddenly we're synced up.
Very nice. Look at this.
All this money and still no Zora check. Okay, those 2 keys mean Harmless Hellway has something.
I mean, it's gotta be where the goods are, man. Like, come on.
There's your goods.
Perfect. That's what I'm talking about. That kind of sucks for Andy. I mean, I guess he still is keeping track of the logic, so he'll know that, the bow is somewhere before this. But,
And obviously, as we discussed, almost every remaining, if not absolutely every remaining Dark World check is MITS locked, so the MITS should point us towards the boots. The only thing could be Pyramid Fairy, in which case we need to beat Helmet King, which Vex is about to do, and then we need Desert Access via either the book or the mirror.
Death Warp from Vex here. He's going to be heading to Helma King.
We will find out what our TR medallion requirement is here.
Yeah, with 2 of the 3 medallions in our pockets here, feeling pretty good about being able to open it, and sure enough, we've got Ether here.
Do you dive it since you don't have the fire rod, and therefore might get locked out quickly?
I mean, I'd consider it, like, I don't know, maybe.
I mean, you certainly do these 6 checks first because they could be the boots.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Nice. Got ourselves some booties.
So that'll at least allow Andy to make up some time, but unless he finds the other bow, he needs to go to Eastern.
Okay.
Here's up there too. So there's our desert access.
Interesting. So all the pieces are coming together now. We would just hit that kind of bottleneck there with the mitts. Now we've got some options, some things that can be done.
Yeah, we still need... Oh, and Andy is dipping TR here, so that'll be interesting to see if we get locked out quickly or start going down the rabbit hole. But yeah, we still need both rods. We still need flippers for swamp and logically for ice. And we still need some way to get into ice, whether it's the fire rod or bombos.
Yeah, good kill of Helma King there by Vex. Andy getting locked out of TR right away there. So you know what? Probably for the best, you know? Not getting baited into the dungeon any deeper. It's like Quake Medallion there on Misery Mire, so we could take a peek in there if we wanted to. It is another pendant dungeon, though, although it is the green pendant.
And there's a book, as in case we didn't have enough ways into desert.
Yeah, now we're set.
I think the seed's trying to tell us something, and indeed, Andy is making the desert play.
Vex right behind won't be able to access desert in the exact same way, but picking up the book here in the cave here. What I just forgot its name. Does it have a name? Mire Shed. Shed, right? Yeah. Jeez, man. Sometimes my brain just stops working completely.
And we did find some money on the torch, and we are so flush with cash that, you know, Andy gets the big key in the map chest, and he's going straight to Landmos because we know that's where the other item is. But yeah, I'm wondering about Pyramid Fairy now because this is the other crystal we can do, but Vex is not going that way.
So what other Dark World checks? If he's still thinking about where those boots might be, we don't really have anything else. I mean, unless he's thinking hammer pegs before climbing the mountain again.
Mirrorless smith chain.
Yeah, these are not ideal checks to be making, I don't think. But could find something else.
Yeah, and I'm honestly wondering if Pyramid Fairy has something important like the fire rod or the flippers.
Given that we've kind of got access to our 5-6 crystals, I would, there's at least a chance that there's something good there.
Yeah, especially since we got that double access into Desert with the mirror and the book in quick succession, and Desert itself didn't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we could start checking tablets. I'm sure Andy has tablets on his mind after game 1.
Yeah, right. And despite not having Pod done it this time, this, like, Andy having the boots, Vex not having the boots, it's going to start to kind of, incrementally kind of add up for Vex the longer that he holds off not doing boots.
Vex is thinking... Okay, he's gonna do Desert. So that will at least give him Pyramid Fairy as a possible play, but, if it is Fire Rod or Flippers, that could take him away from boots.
All right, so yeah, Vex is definitely, he's thinking that he doesn't want to climb the mountain again. So, it's an understandable, way to think about Seed here. It does take a lot of time to climb the mountain, so he's going for the 5/6 crystal option instead. So I can see why he's doing it.
And I mean, despite Andy finding the boots and the mirror, which are both very useful items, Vex basically has until Andy finds a bow before he's in trouble.
Yeah, then it's really going to start to compound.
And Andy's actually giving us our first look at the Flippers checks after Vex took that fake Flipper lock.
Yeah, I don't think there's a better time to make these checks. So, yeah, I think Andy's clearing pretty well right now. I think he must kind of have an idea that he knows where the bow is. He's going to just do these checks first, and then get back into logic by finding the bow.
I mean, there aren't too many places Andy can go. Hey, there's our butter sword in Waterfall Cave.
Okay, just a heart container on the ledge there. Probably not going to go for that. We're pretty healthy already at this point.
Especially since it would require a further fake flipper.
Yeah, that's true.
Zora giving 99% off your investment. I'm surprised Vex is focusing on arrows when he has Tempered Sword. Practicing his NMG strats?
I was going to say, yeah, he's just showing off that he knows what NMG is all about.
Okay, and now Andy is doing Saha and presumably then Eastern, and Vex is going to be in trouble if he doesn't go to Dark Death Mountain soon.
Yeah, so we're going to see Vex do 5/6 Pyramid Fairy. Then he's not going to have a choice, I don't think. I mean, he's going to have to go up the mountain again to keep this chain going.
Unless he really wants to do Mirrorless Smith Chain.
Yikes, that would be tough. Ooh, Andy fluting away after Saha.
Oh, wow. Where does he have what? Back of Pendant Thieves?
He's going back of Thieves, probably. Hey. I mean,
chat pointing out he also has Graveyard Ledge now that he has the mirror, and likewise Smith Chain, K45, all that stuff.
Yeah, like he has these things he can do, so I mean, it's not a bad play to start doing more checks, but the bow can't be here.
I mean, the second bow could be here.
True, I guess, yeah. when is the second bow ever in a convenient location? I mean, the first one's already trolly enough. The second one's probably deep in GT.
Almost certainly. I mean, just, Ganon's already preparing to give a speech about did you find the arrows in my tower?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow! Pyramid Fairy was nothing. I am honestly surprised.
Yeah, same.
While Smiths have the Ice Rod, we will need that.
Ooh,
And...
accidental Quake.
Well, no, I think he's trying to use up his magic for fake powder. Quake wasn't the best way to do it, but it did do it.
True.
Oh no, Vex really is doing Smith Chain or something. Like, Vex, you don't have that many Dark World checks left where boots can be.
Yeah, it's it's a little bit of stubbornness, and but it is tough. You were just up there not too long ago, I guess, but yeah, I don't know.
Chat wondering if Vex may not realize that Dark Death Mountain hints as Dark World, not as Death Mountain. Which is possible.
Yeah, that is possible, I suppose.
I mean, he'll be out of other Dark World checks very soon once he does his Mirrorless Smith Chain. Meanwhile, K45 has nothing. I wonder if one of the tablets is going to be our next progression.
Ooh, yeah, you could be right about that.
I mean, when Vex finally makes it to Dark Death Mountain, he'll get the mirror, and then, since he already has the book, he can mirror and check Ether Tablet. And it would be kind of funny if Ether Tablet had progression 2 races in a row.
Oh yeah, that would be oof.
And here's Andy checking Bombos. Yeah, Vex going back for the purple chest. And Bombos lives up to its name with bombs.
Andy checking mushroom here, just going to be a piece of heart.
So Andy's running out of choices. He basically has Back of Thieves and Eastern now.
Yeah.
And here's the Eastern play. I'm very interested to see what VeXtopher does when he turns in the purple chest and doesn't get anything for it. Because he will have literally done every Dark World check except for Dark Death Mountain.
I mean, he's going to go up the mountain, but he's just not going to be happy about it.
I mean, he's been unhappy since the seed was rolled and it came up Ambrosia.
True. Ugh, and he gets dead rocked. Jeez. Interesting point in chat there. If would Andy finish Eastern Palace at this point, having cleared so much more of the map at this point of the run, he might consider going for that third item. Nah. Well, you know what? He can just do. He can do pod, and then if he feels like it, he can mirror and do Eastern Palace.
Yeah, Helmet King's not going to give him anything, as we know. That's having some serious deadrock problems. It's like they're multiplying almost.
So unfortunately, we're still missing the fire rod. Vex can't go any deeper into TR if he does decide to peek his head in there. Just a map in the first chest.
Ether Tablet has a good chance of being the answer. I mean, we have, what else? Armos Knights and back of Thieves Town?
Actually, yeah, we are really getting down there.
Oh, and Andy's out of magic, so he can't use Samaria on that block. You don't see that too often. Because he never refilled his magic after doing the fake powder.
And then is immediately rewarded with full magic from the mimics there.
Of course. Oh yeah, chat reminding us, Graveyard Ledge is also there waiting for someone to go to its orphaned location. And I guess we haven't done the boots checks either. Did we do King's Tomb and Bonk Rocks?
Oh, no, actually, we haven't.
We also haven't checked Lumberjack, and Aga is very much in logic if there's something on Lumberjack.
Oh, that would be pretty gross at this point.
So Vex is gonna dip TR and get turned away pretty quickly.
Yeah, hoping he remembers Ether Tablet. He skipped on Bombo's tablet earlier there, so...
He didn't have the mirror.
Oh, actually, good point. Yes, uh-huh.
No, I mean... If the answer isn't like Ether Tablet, then this seed gets ugly in a hurry. I mean, yeah, there's Graveyard Ledge, there's... The boots checks aren't too bad, honestly.
Yeah, those will be pretty quick.
Okay, the fact that Vex is mirroring means that he's thinking Ether Tablet.
This
Andy
could be interesting, yeah.
takes down Helmet King. Because not only can any of our remaining required items be on Lumberjack at this point, but Whips and Fire Rod could be on Ped. Oh, Vex didn't...
What?
Why would... What? Vex? Why would you do Spike Cave before Ether Tablet?
Because he's not thinking about tablets, man. Ugh.
Especially given the last race!
It couldn't happen twice, could it? What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? He's got that mirror. Okay,
Boost
he's gonna
checks.
do boost checks, yeah.
Looks like we might have some convergence here, then Andy might be going for the boots checks as well. If boots checks are the answer, that puts Andy in the lead just on execution alone.
I mean, because we're really getting down there on items, like, the seed is gonna start to kind of tighten up and get a little more linear from here on out as we find items.
We got red mail and a big 20, and now the Lumberjack check. Of course, the answer's probably Ether Tablet.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for it to be Ether Tablet.
I can't wait for the interview if the answer's Ether Tablet.
Ugh, yeah.
That looked like a piece of heart on Lumberjack.
I think so, yeah. So we're down to dipping a pendant dungeon of some sort.
Yeah, and note that PED is in logic, that all of our pendants are logically attainable.
Oh, nuh-uh.
Looks like Vex is thinking Meyer.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do? Oh, he's got the mirror, so he's gonna do checkerboard first. Okay, cool, cool.
But do you go here as a one-off without dipping Meyer? Which is a green pendant.
So bonus item there.
Yup. Here comes Meyer. And what's Andy gonna do next with the flute out? Meyer, how about that?
So, I mean, of course the answer is gonna be Back of Thieves at this point.
Did we get one or two items in the front?
I feel like it was 2.
Oh, I love the Meyer music in this MSU.
Oh yeah, that is pretty good. Alright, so we're gonna find one item in the dungeon, one item on the boss for sure here, so have to see how the chests break down here.
Yeah, you really just hope for the God Meyer where you get the big key and the one item in these first 2 checks.
Yeah, that'd be really nice.
Ew.
I know, right? Dungeon item, dungeon item, dungeon item. Gross.
And not even the big key.
Yeah, right? Like, nothing that we want.
Doubling back for lobby chest before checking compass chest. See what Andy does here. Ooh, there's our item.
Interesting.
So we've found 2 required pendant dungeons. Oh, and the big key has to be vanilla with the small key in compass chest there.
Vex, one torch short there. Unfortunate.
Ran out of magic, but he's gonna go back, and then he'll learn that. Oh. First time in a while I've seen someone run out of magic while using the lamp.
Yeah, it always feels like the magic meter kind of like pities you if you're using the lamp there and lets you get that last little bit of flame out. Not today.
Now, it's an interesting question. We're Fire Rod from Go Mode. Would you have just ducked out as soon as you got the flippers?
Honestly, I might have. Swamp Palace is right there, like, just waiting. I think I might.
Will Andy duck out as soon as he gets the flippers?
Maybe.
We'll find out shortly.
It is, yeah, it's the green pendant, which is definitely factoring into runners' decisions here, I'd imagine. We'll see.
Yep. Andy's ducking out, so this could be big if Vitreous or the green pendant has something. Well, the something it would have would probably be the Fire Rod, unless, of course, it's one of those Rule of Fire seeds where we get Bombos and then Fire Rods and Ice Palace.
Yeah, I mean this race, this could turn on a dime here with this Meyer play, this deeper into Meyer play by Vex.
Yeah, statistically, Andy's making the better play, but rando be rando.
Yeah, I feel like he's made the right call here, but you know, I mean, Vex with the one game advantage, you know, he's already up in the series right now. Take a shot, you know, continue on in the dungeon, even though you think, oh, it's probably going to be swamp. I'm just going to keep diving this, and we'll see if I get lucky, and then I can, you know, finish off the series.
The nice thing about Vex going all the way here in Myers, we get to listen to the music more.
Yeah, right? It's really jamming.
And what's interesting about this is when Vex found flippers, he hadn't even found the big key. He had more of a reason to bail for swamp because he couldn't even rush the boss. And he could have rushed the boss and chose not to.
Yeah, good point. So Vex was kind of like more or less committed even after seeing, okay, just a 20.
And now you have to turn in the green pendant before you do swamp, otherwise why did you just spend all this time?
You immediately turn in this pendant. Yeah, this is your big swing for the fences here. You've got to see it through. Yeah, I guess chat pointing out pedestal being something. Vex has kind of got a bit of an edge here if that were to be the case, having finished Meyer, and he's not going to want to go back to Meyer for any reason.
Yeah, I mean, right, that's the other thing. No one's checked Ped yet. It could be Fire Rod or Bombo's locking Fire Rod. And of course, Vex isn't actually checking that green pendant he just worked so hard to get. He's going straight for swamp.
Okay, so we found a fire rod. How about that?
Okay, that would be go mode. I mean, Vex is gonna get it, but this is now definitely Andy's race to lose.
Yep, for sure.
And trying to out-execute Andy in the next 3 crystal dungeons in GT seems an unlikely proposition.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge for Vex, I think, in this one here.
I mean, he would have had a shot if he had mirrored out of Meyer as soon as he got the flips.
Yeah, I mean, that would have put him, you know, 90 seconds, 2 minutes ahead. You know, at least you'd be in front, you know. So...
I mean, he would have had the race if he hadn't, like, been so averse to Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, other than that, he's there's been a couple of little things here and there, but that's the way it goes, I guess.
Andy's off to finish Skull Woods.
Yeah, back half of this seed is going to be very quick. Skull Woods, a very quick Ice Palace, and then TRGT right next door to each other there. Although it did take a little bit longer to get into go mode, now that you've got, you know, just the clear path ahead of you, it starts to feel a little bit better. Nothing worse than like the latest possible go mode. Today we got a couple dungeons that we can just pop in, pop out, and that's kind of nice.
Yeah, not too often you see a race where neither player does middle of Skull Woods, but we don't have to.
Yeah, very unusual. Also, we're seeing that Vex is going for left side swamp here, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, and generally not something you do one item from go mode. Like, you might go back in afterwards if you didn't find it in the back, but doing it before the back is one item from go mode is unusual. And that's putting it diplomatically.
Yeah, this is likely a case of I already committed all my time into Mire there. I have to go to all the places that suck. Otherwise, I'm not going to win this race because I'm already behind.
So, there's crystal number 5 for Andy, meanwhile.
Yep, smooth sailing through the Montula fight. Very nice.
Ice Palace is gonna be pretty quick. I mean, you have Butter Sword.
Alrighty, off to Ice Palace next.
Always feels nice when you can just go mode it. Maybe open 1 or 2 checks directly in your path just in case there are silvers. And now VeXtopher is questioning his life decisions.
Oof, man, this Ice Palace is pretty. This is something. Yeah, I really need Andy to hurry up through this dungeon here. It's pretty bright. It's a hot pink for sure.
It's been quite the palette shuffle, spicing it up.
It certainly has been. Pepto Palace, nice. Alrighty, so Vex is chasing Andy here. He's going to be heading for either, I guess, Ice Palace Swamp, or sorry, Skull Woods, maybe. Oh, he's going Ice Palace first. All right.
And even though they are in the same dungeon now, VeXtopher will still need to do back of Skull Woods before he can climb the mountain.
Yeah, Skullwoods doesn't take too long, but that is still a couple minutes of time to get over there, get all the way through to the back there.
And hey, Buttersword Cold Stare shows why the game locks Buttersword behind Cold Stare in vanilla.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
Considering, Cold Stare went down in the amount of time it took me to say that.
Yeah. Nice quick icebreaker there from Vex. taking a look in a chest there. Even though our runners are in go mode, they might, benefit from picking up silver arrows somewhere. So, that's a quick little check you can do along the way. Turns out it was just the map, which is unfortunate.
So we should announce that assuming Andy's lead holds here, Game 3 between these runners will be at 7:10 Eastern tomorrow night on SpeedGaming 2.
Wow, you don't have to wait long, folks, for Game 3. That'll be an exciting conclusion to this pretty evenly matched duo here. Vex is a little bit behind today, but he's been showing well in the tournament, which is really awesome. Awesome to see.
Yeah, he's actually coming off of being top 8 in the AD Keys tournament that was a few months ago.
And AD Keys is like a grindy kind of mode, so that's a pretty solid result there.
That's why he won the Key Sanity match between these two and is struggling in the Ambrosia match. That said, though, speaking of grindy modes, Andy was runner-up in the Cross Keys tournament a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah. Shoutouts to Cross Keys.
Ooh, nice early key, big key in Turtle Rock. That means maybe with some luck we can skip Laser Bridge. And we can certainly skip Lava Chest. Unless you're my co-com here, who sometimes likes to go to Lava Chest even when he's in go mode and already has the big key.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just the coolest place to be, man. Everyone's going there. Wait, we don't go there? Oh, okay. Today I learned.
Yeah, so the dream would be to get a key in Crystal Roller Chest.
Yeah, that would really be optimal. The way that key dropped for Andy there, it almost looked like he might end up unnecessarily using it in the door there, but managed to avoid that.
That's like a constant worry for runners in TR trying to steal the key.
Yeah, it seems like it's usually just a pretty straightforward operation there, but if that pokey is a little too close to that door, you sweat just a little bit.
Speaking of pokies, very nice use of the butter sword there to do double spins to clear that room by Andy. And nothing but the Hour of Destiny, so we're gonna see if there's a small key on Laser Bridge, or if this is that 3% seed that has a small key in Lava Chest and a small key in the big chest.
That would be really unfortunate. That's it's so unlucky to have that happen to you. So here's hoping that it's on the Laser Bridge.
Some runners will actually check the big chest to both hedge against that possibility, and then if it's there, they can skip Laser Bridge altogether. But second chest Laser Bridge, no big deal.
Yeah, I can understand that. I think I might even do that myself every now and then.
And we have a prediction going in chat already to give people more time to waste their points. Where is the GT Big Key?
Nice. Yeah. Get your guesses in. The poll is going to be closing in about 45 seconds from now. What are we thinking, Drossi? Deep into GT, or is it going to be a pretty easy big key to find?
I'm thinking it's got to come up pretty quickly, personally. What about you?
I tend to agree. I think it's going to be a bit of an earlier one today.
I just voted on 1 to 3 because no one else was voting on it.
Really?
I don't know if it'll be that early, but hey, good odds if no one else is voting on it.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Ooh, good recovery by Vex there, almost missing the last torch in that room. And yeah, you can still guess in chat. Too late to guess on the prediction, but last guess is in chat incoming as Andy opens GT.
Alright, gonna go right first here.
Small key will keep us going right. What do you think? Compass room here?
That's where I put my money, so yes, I'm gonna say compass room. Oh.
Getting a bit body slammed by the Gyptos, though.
Yeah, geez, they were being pretty rude.
Well, there went my points.
I think that means I'm out too.
Yeah, that's 6 checks, so if you did either of the first 2 guesses, you are too optimistic.
No!
Torch! Okay, so if Andy had just gone left first, I could have won points, but he knew that. He wanted me to suffer.
Alrighty, so we start the tower climb. Vex still in TR there. It's going to be almost impossible to catch up at this point. A lot of Ganon falls, I think, is what it would take.
Maybe a few Moldorm falls for good measure.
Yeah. Alrighty, entering into the gauntlet here. Wow, getting the full heal and full magic refill as well. Very generous first room there. Alrighty, already on to Landmo 2 here. As Vex heads into the Trinex fight, should be pretty straightforward for him. The Tempered Sword there.
There goes Trinex for Vex. I mean, at least being in GT at the same time as your opponent, you know, still a reasonably close race.
Yeah, you know, that's something I often strive for in a race, because, you know, you're not going to win every race, but to be at least somewhat in the ballpark. If you're out in the middle of nowhere, still looking for a go mode item or something, that really feels bad. You really take that kind of a loss to heart. This one, you know, just a couple little decisions could have made the difference in this one. So it's not like you were, you know, completely overmatched.
Andy not opening Moldorm's last possession, looking for silvers.
Yeah, I mean the final fight's pretty quick. Butter sword, even in silverless, but I don't know. Maybe you check. Maybe you check.
And Vex going left, so he'll get his big key immediately.
Nice, little bit of a time save.
Nice triple by Andy.
Yeah, very nice. You can see that one kind of lining up, and he got it just perfect. Unfortunate patterns here, these last two. This one looks
yeah. The 3-1-1-1.
Just really awkwardly split in 2 and 3 there. That was unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, looking at chat's kind of chatting up, talking about how this race could have gone a little bit differently, and I tend to agree. Vex bails on Misery Mire right away, doesn't do left side swamp. He's not that far behind. You know, he could even be ahead. You know, like
I mean, then it would have just come down to execution and whether Andy's execution advantage would have been enough to catch him up.
Because him coming into GT here, it was like 4.5 minutes behind, and that's all that time that he sunk in those 2 dungeons right there, you know, so it would have been like a nail-biter finish here. So, you know, you got to look at the upside of that kind of stuff. You know, a couple of decision changes, and you're right in the thick of it here.
Yeah. And, I mean, we talk about, like, it's not language we like to use, correct plays and incorrect plays. What we really mean is whether you're playing the odds better or not. But in both of those situations, after getting the flippers and how they Shrouded Swamp, Andy played the odds correctly and won both times.
So we're getting pretty close to the finale here. Just a few more spins to go.
As I said like an hour ago, Ganon was all this time preparing to give that speech about did you find the arrows in my tower.
Totally.
And get your GG's in for Andy, who is tying up this series. And also his first win in a main tournament bracket match since he won the entire thing in fall of 2018.
Ooh, wow, we're starting something new here. How exciting. Yeah, GG's to Andy. Game 3 will be tomorrow. Was that 7:10? Was that right, Drossi?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And we are joined by our winner, Andy. GG.
Hello, GG.
That was quite something. You'll have to watch it back between you practically last locating Bo and Vex practically last locating Boots. It was a pretty interesting race.
Yeah, the seed was weird. Ambrosia sucks. Pretty much how I feel.
Well, also knowing how you feel about Bolus Eastern, it didn't matter whether that was Ambrosia or not. That was not something.
When I pulled those mitts, obviously I was like, okay, well, I can get my boots now, so we're gonna leave. or we're not gonna do anything else, knowing that was bow locked. And then I got like boots, mirror, book, and ice rod like almost back to back basically. And so at that point I was just fishing for the second bow a little bit, and then at a certain point I was like, okay, I have Thieves Town and Eastern. I think those were pretty much my only options.
At least you weren't baited by the back of Thieves Town.
Yeah. Getting the bow and leaving was a little aggressive. I didn't feel that far. Like, I didn't feel bad about getting the bow so late, really. If anything, me skipping on the Eastern boss like saved me a minute or whatever. And then at that point, I think Meyer with the green pendant was just my most lucrative play. So I had like Ether Tablet, 2 things in Thieves Town.
You guys were in Meyer at the same time. The key thing was you mirrored out after getting the flippers.
Yeah, at that point, I just played odds. And I was like, it's like 50-50 in swap, so let's just go there.
Yeah, that was definitely the play that turned it around. Because, yeah, you guys kept it pretty close most of the way just because it was a bit of a back and forth. The seed opened up pretty early for you guys, so there was a bit of divergence, and then you kind of got bottlenecked by the mitts. But, yeah, that play out of Misery Mire was kind of like the turning point where we could see that, Vex was going to fall behind by a little bit.
Yeah, that makes sense. That was also, like, slightly aggressive. Like... Misery Mire is my last location 100% if that's where Fire Rod is. So,
We're getting word that VeXtopher is declining an interview on the grounds that he would likely say something that he shouldn't be saying on the air. We also have confirmation from the race time chat that Vex did not in fact know that Dark Death Mountain counts as Dark World.
Yeah, I forget what is what sometimes. So like right when I saw the hint, I had like the race seed generator still up, so I just like went to generate a seed and I just generated a random default seed and opened up the spoiler log to see what Dark World was, and I put it in a spreadsheet. Yeah. It's just one. If you don't race Ambrosia ever, it's just one of the things that you might not know about the spoiler log, I suppose.
Yeah, good tip there for sure.
Because God knows I don't race this mode either, so I definitely don't know the things off the top of my head.
No one races this mode, is what I'm led to believe.
Yeah.
Seems to be the case, yes. We will be taking notes on that so for future reference. Yeah, so Game 3 tomorrow. How are you feeling about that? I mean, it's been a kind of a back and forth series. Obviously, it's going to a Game 3. What do you hope? What mode are you hoping for? I guess maybe.
Well, my good pal Adirondack Rick came in and said, by the way, Game 3 literally can't be Ambrosia, so we're throwing a party tomorrow.
True. Okay. Once we're in brackets, in a series with the same player, you can't get the same mode twice.
That's nice.
That's also nice, yeah.
Well then, if that's the case, then anything but Tourney Hard. That'd be fantastic.
All right. Well,
I haven't raced that yet this tournament, and I would love to keep it that way.
I think I saw when I rolled your seed, your cards are stacked favorably towards McBoss, so maybe that's what you'll wind up with.
That's nice. I did nice. One McBoss in groups, and McBoss can be interesting if you don't get all of the boss killing items early, like we did in my race in groups. Otherwise, it's interesting in seeing if you decide to go fight Ice Armos or not, basically. But that's fun. Inverted Keys is fun. Tourney Hard is whatever. Yeah, McBoss would be fun. Inverted Keys can be pretty wild. So, that's always fun. I love Inverted as much as people give it crap.
Awesome, very cool. I don't know. I don't know if I've got any more questions. I feel like the seed kind of explained a lot of it to us. You guys running it, it was great to see. I don't know, Drossi, any more questions for Andy here?
I mean, I think we've covered it. Like, the bow, the getting out of mire after flippers, and the not doing left side swamp pretty much sum up the key points of the race, right?
Totally. All right. Well, any closing thoughts, Andy?
Just hoping to not go T33rd for the 4th time in a row. I think either been 2 or 3 times in a row that I've been ousted in the first round. Started with one of our commentators here, actually, Sabotender. So
I feel like people have got to stop talking about that. That was years ago, man. But everywhere I go, people are like, "Well, you beat Andy. That was awesome." Whatever. So yeah, good luck, buddy.
Started my downfall.
Hopefully, me doing commentary here will help you, get back on a roll.
Yeah. But yeah, tomorrow should be fun. 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you there.
Right on. Well, GG's again, and thanks to our tracker today, CRUX, for clicking those buttons behind the scenes. Really appreciate that. I really appreciate having chat here, hanging out with us. It was a good race to watch, so I'm glad y'all were here to watch it with us. And a big thanks to my co-com, Drossi. Always a pleasure, buddy.
Yeah, you too. I'm glad we got to do this together. It was certainly a fun race, even if people had certain things to say about the mode. But yeah, it was a blast. And of course, give the runners a follow. I mean, you saw them play today. Many of you saw them in race 1. Tomorrow should be something really hype. You want to keep tabs on them.
Yeah, most definitely. So have we got anything on the schedule for today? I think we're all wrapped for today.
I think so. It was kind of a slow day, probably because of the holiday here in America.
All right, let's take a quick peek. We got let's see. We got a couple things coming up tomorrow. Yes, that is tomorrow. In fact, starting at 12 noon Eastern, Magno versus Illis on Speed Gaming 2. Then we've got another match at 4:10. That is Tato and Shady Force, also on Speed Gaming 2. So that'll get your day started off right. A little bit more maybe later on. Let's see.
Yeah, actually, it looks like a few in the evening. Nice. Game 3 of this, of course, and a couple at 6:10.
Right, looks like this one is going to be on Speed Gaming 2 as well. Okay, so yeah, lots of rando action tomorrow to look forward to, folks. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's going to do it for us. Drossi, final word?
Yeah, thank you all for watching, and be sure to tune in tomorrow.